Hello and welcome to the Daily Forex Report for April 12th. We are looking at the U.S.-Japanese yen pair. This pair did move higher today, closed up just by a little bit. You can see overall the range was fairly tight. We are looking for it to potentially go as high as 81.42, possibly as low as 80.43. Look for some resistance around 81.25 and look for some support around 80.50. Now looking at the Euro-USD pair, this pair surged to the upside, closed higher. We are looking for it to potentially go up to 133.05, possibly as low as 130.38. Look for some resistance around 132.15 and look for some support around 131.25. Now the pound-US dollar pair, it moved to the upside. Look for this one to go up to 160.43. Possibly as low as 158.44. Look for some resistance around 159.85 and look for some support around 159.00. Now the US Swiss, it surged to the downside, closed lower. Look for it to potentially go as high on a reversal up to 0.9222, possibly as low as 0.9021. Look for some resistance around 0.9150 and look for some support around 0.9085. Now, as far as news announcements go, going into tomorrow's session, we have the German Consumer Price Index being released. Of course, that will affect the euro. Consensus on that one is that it has held at 2.1%. At 8:30 a.m. Eastern, we have the Consumer Price Index for the U.S. being released for March. Year to date, they're showing a drop slightly from 2.9% down to 2.7%. Then a little bit later in the day at 9:55, we have the U.S. University of Michigan's confidence report for April being released at showing a slight increase from 76.2 to 76.5, which would be good news for the U.S. dollar. Actually, both those are good for the consumer price if it comes out where it said it is projected to come out. It would be good, as well as the consumer confidence. So definitely, or the Michigan confidence report, definitely keep an eye on that. Now, yesterday we talked about the New Zealand U.S. dollar trade. Just want to show you kind of how that played out. It did take a little bit of time, but if you took that trade, grabbed a quick 54 pips. So kind of interesting there. Just wanted to bring that to your attention. Now, as far as trades going into this next session, don't have a whole lot that I'm looking for. You can see that the Euro USD has decided to move higher. So our trend line here, we may have to wait a little bit longer for that to develop to the downside. To the upside, however, we are getting a little bit closer to that. You can see we definitely are consolidating down over time. So keep an eye out on this. We could look for this to move higher as well. If we get a break to the downside, though, I'm looking to go short anything closing below the 130.36 mark and looking to go long above the 133.44 mark. But you want to make sure that it closes above it. We're not talking about looking at this just from a break of those lines. Now, if we zoom, let's go to the 15-minute chart. You can see that once you drop to the 15-minute chart, that there are some potentials that we have that aren't shown on the daily chart, and that's definitely something you need to be aware of. We have a trend line here that was touched once, almost twice, three times. You can see it did break above there. If we zoom in, take a look at it, you can see it spiked above there and then has trailed lower. And we have one to the downside as well that we could look for starting here and cutting right through that area. So to the downside, you could actually use the 15-minute chart trend line to go short at around the currently around the 131.28 mark. Look for it to hit the long term for a 66 pip move, put your stop loss right above this here at about the 70 mark for a roughly 1-to-1 risk to reward. So that's just some ways you can use long-term trend lines with short-term trend lines. Till next time, this is Jason Fielder. Good trading.